Welcome back, everybody. Now that we have our player path by clicks happening, let's bring in the other methods that we've been capturing data for, which is time and distance and where players have been spotted. Let's do by time, because we just so happen to have, under our player path by clicks, have already done player path by time. So hooray, that's just so handy. So let's get going with that one. To change this, or to make this happen, we're going to change our analytics display class, where we've got get some data from our API. Let's call this, what do we want to call it, Nick? Get data, get player path by clicks
from our API.
We need to put from API in there?
No, it's
a bit overkill? Okay, cool. Awesome. So unfortunately, because we are coming to get data player path by clicks, we're then making an endpoint call. You think, awesome, let's just put the endpoint in here and then we can format the string as we need. And then we go, unfortunately with that one, we are returning, our data needs to be through the coroutine. So we go get player path by clicks. We go, great, we saw how to use generics. We could just pass generics into this one and deserialize into that. Unfortunately, when we are then doing our rendering data.
Method again?
Which one?
The render data player path by clicks again?
Yep. So it is taking in just a series of events, and then it's using the clicks, the min and the max. There's an extra variable that's going to be in use here for time and distance, and then the coloring. The way we're going to do that for that is actually just use a different color altogether.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So you could, if you wanted to, try and make this very nice and generic, and just if type is something else, then do this extra part as well. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. We're going to keep this one nice and simple and put in here. So let's go here. If the user presses A, then that's going to get player path by clicks. If the user presses T for time, then we will get player path by time. Now we will be putting an interface over this into the game later on. And seeing as we're now doing player path by time, making it T, let's make A for analytics, B, C for clicks.
Yeah.
And that means that we can preemptively put this thing in place as well, which would be player path by distance.
Yep.
And then finally player path, get player spotted, which can be S for seen or spotted.
Yes.
And we'll call this one get data player spotted. So let's quickly skeleton in these methods. Control.enter, control.enter, control.enter didn't work that time. Try it again. Yes, it did. And now it's some kind of weird arrow bracket spotted. All fixed up. Right here. So let's click on player path by time. So we go into time and we will look at how we are actually doing player path by clicks to begin with, and then we'll just copy that code. So I will take these three methods that I've just created, get rid of them. Now they'll all whinge at me, and we'll go to player path by clicks, and then we can put all of our methods together.
Nice.
2, 3. So it's essentially the same thing for this, for play by time. In fact, all of them are essentially the same thing. We'll do this one as get player path by time. We're still passing in the level name and the level version. And then we're only passing in level name at the moment, but we can fix that one up later on. Let's change the the start coroutine, get player path by clicks, to get player path by distance.
Yep.
Whoops, that has actually just recreated the entire method. By distance, this one needs to be player path by distance because, oh, wait, I'm sorry, we meant to say by time. By time. Whoops.
Oh yeah, we don't have the class.
Just realized that, my mistake. Even as I typed time up here and then switched to distance. Sorry about that. Our data is being player path by clicks. This is interesting in that we actually don't need to have this here. It only gets used inside of that one method.
Yeah.
inside of the rendering of display. So there's no need to
So
actually
we'll just
keep
actually
it.
pass it in.
Kill it, yeah. Get rid of that. Something will whinge at me about something not existing somewhere, and oh no, that's fine. I'll just call it this. And find what the API type thought it was. Would have been easy if I had
list
that
of
one.
player path by time. Oh no, list of API wrapper player path by time.
API wrapper, player path, get player spotted, player blah, 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 by clicks. There, start coroutine. You go there, you come here. It was this one. I could just expand that.
var data.
Right, that gets assigned in there. This comes in here. This is going to be player path by clicks, saying it doesn't exist. So because I don't know what type should be passed into there, actually, yes, I do. It's this API wrapper, that, which is basically what Nick said before. What am I thinking? I'm sorry, Nick. There we go. So instead of calling it now data player path by clicks, we could just call it data events, but we'll leave it just as is for now. So that gets rid of that. Hey, collapse. Collapse, I said. Don't need that one. Clear this pathway. So let's just come back here to the start because I've been jumping around so much there. All right, so from update, player path by clicks. That one is now fine. We'll go to get data player path by time into here. That is going to call the get player path by time. Then we'll go into the coroutine of get player path by time, which is going to have a var data player path, just data.
Yep.
The events.
Yep.
Events.
They're both good.
Great. This one is going to call by time, and we will pass in events. Now we can create the method, and it says, hey, I've already got the type in there.
Yay.
All right, so lots of code changes going on there. All we've really done is just set this up for clicks and for time, and just renamed a bunch of things.
Yep.
Great. So let's look at what do we need to actually put into player path by time. Which we can go up to get player path by render data, player path by clicks.
Yep.
We do want to clear the visual, clear the player pathways.
Yeah.
Let's just take all the code.
Do it.
Copy. Come down to render data, player path by time. I'm gonna find. Yeah, I'll come back to that one. This one is just going to call all these things events. So events.
Can you just F2 rename those or
events? Well, they're not referencing anything right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
So they're going to go. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Click,
oh well.
click, click. Events, 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 events. Events, events. What is this whinging about? Click position. Oh, because it wasn't a click. It was a player position. Player.
Done.
That's essentially it. Yes, it's doing the color based on the min and the max of the time in the level. So yeah, that's essentially it.
And basically, yeah. Cool.
So one thing we'll see about this is why I didn't want to go for a fully generic method. We'll see that in just a second.
Yep.
Let's come back into Unity and let's press play. And we'll chill. And we'll chill some more. Oh, it seems I didn't actually press it. How embarrassing. Let's press T for time. And they're all black. Oh no, what's happened? That's not correct, by the way.
Also seems to be less of them.
Yes, there does seem to be a lot. Mind you, we capture the data. We haven't actually moved the data of the time into
yeah, we need to run.
We'd have to run the full process end to end for that.
Yep.
Let's find why it's black though. That is concerning. We are looking at the percent. So let's put a breakpoint here. And how are we finding out the range? We are finding out the range by going the max and the min of the time-based positions.
They probably don't exist. They probably deserialized to 0 because we haven't run the process because we added those.
Which process? You're probably correct. Let's find out.
I don't know. Actually,
we built that and tested it.
No, yeah, we that's right. We put it in the
We put it in the
API.
generic call.
We put it in the API.
Let's find out. Going to come here. I've put a breakpoint in there. Press T for time. When it hits color, it should tell me what's going on. The range is 0, so it looks like Nick was actually correct in the first place. Our max is 1 and our min is 1. Because we've only had such a small amount of data captured, they've all been captured at the only 1 in each position.
Right.
Well, that makes sense. 1 minus 1 is 0, and then it's trying to find the percentage of 0, and then it's going, well, that must be, you want me to put it at black.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
So it's probably coming here and then going divide by 0 error, and then freaking out, and then not actually setting a color. Is it? Oh, it's getting there. The percent is not a number, so when it tries to assign the color, it's then coming into determine color, which is then going to hit straight away. Are you less than 0.5 or bigger than 0.5? Neither. I am not a number, and I will return black.
That makes sense.
Which gives us a bit of a problem, because what I was going to demonstrate here is that having a min and a max and showing a range for where people have been in each particular time, the way that we're doing it here probably isn't the best. It's not gonna give you a big idea of how long people are going in the level. A better way of doing this. So let's go. There's 2 better ways of doing this. One would be to set an average time per level. And then go, how far away from the average are these players, and then color them accordingly. So if it was like a 10-second level and someone did it in 5, they would be more green, and if someone did it in 25 seconds, then they would be the red limit. Yeah. Because they are very far away from the average. The other way you can do it is go, well, you can kind of see where players are moving based on, if you've got enough data, you will see where the positions are, and you'll see the pathways that they're taking.
Well, it's sort of cool if we can calculate the average ourselves, like not set a set. Oh, I mean, unless we need an expected time of completion. You know?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. That would be like, hey, the average completion time for this level is 10 seconds. Or like, hey, if you do it within 3 seconds, then you get the 3 stars. And if you do it within 15 seconds, then you get 2 stars.
What's more useful from the analytics point of view?
It all depends on which way, what do you want to know. They're all going to tell different stories, and they're all going to have different ways of calculating itself. So what I was thinking we could do for this one is just have a color be, if you're time-based, then you're blue. Yeah. And if you're distance-based, then you're purple.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Analytics display instance. Let's put 2 more colors in here. So we'll preemptively strike for time and distance. Display time and display distance. Now we're only working on time at the moment.
Wait, why? Why?
Well, because we're setting up all the methods just for time.
Right. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's come to render data player path by time, where we're setting the color and we're doing this determine color. This was for clicks. Let's just put determine color time, which means we don't need percent in here anymore because that doesn't actually get used.
Makes sense, yeah.
Which then also means that we don't need to determine the range, but we'll leave the range. No, we'll get rid of it. We don't need it. All right. So now everything that is a color, everything that is a time-based data point should be blue. So we'll go to here into the game. I'm just going to make sure that this recompiles. Time is there. Let's make time blue. But blue on its own is a bit intense, so we'll make it this more kind of lighter blue.
Yeah.
And we'll make it like 150-ish on the alphanist.
Yep.
And then we'll press play, and then we'll press T, and we have all of our data points where we went off to the sides and straight up, and that's really all the data we have for time.
Okay.
Cool. So with that is going to finish this video, and we'll move on to distance.
Cool. Sounds good.